Hello, it's Sunday, so of course I've been at the car boot, as you will have seen me posting on my stories this morning. Two things that were working against me today. First of all, the weather was forecast to be throwing it down, so consequently not very many sellers there. People obviously thought better of it last night when it came to packing the car up. So if there's not many people there selling, there's a lot less stuff to buy. So that was the first thing. Secondly, bizarrely, was cheesecake. Cheesecake was going against me, all my love of cheesecake. So I popped into Shrewsbury last night for dinner with the intention of being back home for 8 o'clock in time to watch the football. Ended up that my daughters wanted to go to the pub and watch it there, which was great, really lovely atmosphere. Got to bed at 1 o'clock this morning, so you can imagine when the alarm was going off at 6, I did not want to get up. When I eventually did get out of bed, I've got 10 minutes to quickly get dressed, do a cup of tea in a plastic cup to take with me, and hadn't had time to eat. Knew that I'd get hungry halfway around there, so I grabbed a big slice of cheesecake. When I pulled up this morning and parked, it had already started, and of course this cheesecake's sitting there saying, "Eat me, eat me, eat me." So I sat and ate the cheesecake when I should have been up and out. Now that in itself wouldn't be a problem if it weren't for the fact that as I got out the car, just ahead of me, at the very first stall that I was coming to, I could see this beautiful 1940s original wooden sledge. It's still got the handle at the front, like the strap to pull children along on, absolutely gorgeous. Just got there, said to the lady, "Oh, how much is your sledge, please?" Turned out it was £3, and she said to me, "Oh, it's £3, but I've just sold it to this lady." And I was like, oh no, because obviously had I not sat there stuffing my face with cheesecake, then the sledge for £3 would have been mine, and I would have loved to show it to you. And I was so thrown by it that I didn't even take a photo, which I was kicking myself for afterwards. It was lovely. You do get those moments when you see things and you either walk away and have a think about it and you go back and they're gone. So if you see something you like, buy it there and then, or somebody just pips you to the post, and it was one of those moments. But that will be on my mind all week. That will bug me, and it has bugged me all day. But did still come away, even though there was literally just a handful of sellers. But I did come away with some nice things, so I'll show you what I've got. So first of all, in front of me, I love these little earthenware pots. I've got no end of them. You can just literally get a couple of, whether it's like daisies, anything, fern leaves, anything like that out of the garden. Doesn't need to be actual shop bought flowers. And just put a couple of stems in them and put them on your windsills. They always look lovely. These were 50p each. There's 10 of them. I didn't know how many there were. I could just see them all on a table. And I said to the lady, "How much would you take for all of them?" Thinking she'd say, "Oh, £5 or not 50p off." And she said, £2 for the lot. So that was perfect. Went down to the equivalent of 20p each. And they're all lovely. There is one which is a little bit knocked, but you know something, given the age that it is, we can forgive that. So yeah, so I got yet more of these pots. I'll show you around the house sometime and you'll see I've got them here, there and everywhere, but I love them. Often, depending on where you live, if you're in an old house or not, but you can find these buried in your garden. I know that because I found some buried in the garden myself. If you're in an older house, or if you're in a house that's been built on older land, especially the rounder ones as well, and you get the old John ones, and they just obviously over time get thrown away or buried in the soil and lost. So yeah, I've dug some of these up myself. So I got those, they were nice. We're on a 50p roll again. I got these, which I absolutely love. I'm going to find a windowsill to put these on because quite nice. I don't know how much from there you can see through the glass or not, but lovely colours, and nice when the light's shining through them. So they were 50p each. So yeah, quite cute little glass balls. The same lady that was selling the glass balls, in fact I don't know if I've posted a picture of her stall yet or not, but again I have taken a photo, I'll add it to my story. Had also got some bunting, and given that we've got Jubilee weekend coming up, I mean I've got loads of bunting, I've got a drawer full, but this was especially nice because look, let me show you. So it's old embroidered linen, which somebody has very carefully cut and stitched, and they've even got pretty fabric on the back as well, and it's a really nice long length. That was £1. I offered 50p, expecting it to be a, oh gosh, we've run out of bunting, expecting it to be a no, and it was a yeah, no problem, and they're a really lovely couple as well. So that's one length of it, and then I've got a second length here. So that was from the same people that I got the glass balls from. I bought this from the now defunct Laura Ashley. Still got the sticker in place. I recognised it when I saw it. I used to buy quite a lot of their stuff. So yeah, so that's quite nice. You can either use it obviously as a vase, as a hurricane lantern, or I've got a similar one to this, and I've just got, you know, the string lights that you put batteries in, and I've got those just dropped inside and then just put them on overnight time, quite pretty. So yeah, I thought that was quite a cute one. Now, she wanted a fiver for that, £5 at a car boot. That's a lot of money. So yeah, so I tried getting her down to £3.50, and she was quite rightly having absolutely none of it. So I paid my £4, and I'm pleased that I did. So yeah, I quite like that as well. So we'll put that there. Sticking with the red colour, got this. This is lovely. Hasn't got, oh my gosh, where's it? Hasn't got the original weights with it, which is quite normal these days. The weights get lost. Again, sometimes you can pick a set of weights up on their own at a car boot sale, which I dare say I will do. So this was marked up at £3, and I paid £2 for it. And I just thought this one was quite lovely because you don't normally see them in this these colours, or it's the enamel's a little bit chipped around the edge, but of course that just all adds to its vintage charm. So yeah, I have got another set of these in my kitchen, and I haven't got the biggest kitchen in the world, but that will probably serve as a fruit bowl. So that was a good £2. Keeping with my love of vintage and my vintage theme, needs a bloody good clean. It's filthy. But yeah, it's actually a modern teapot, quite a nice quality one. It's vintage styled, needs to go in the dishwasher, it's grubby. Again, don't need another teapot, but hey ho, very nice, likes that. I bought this, oh gosh, broke the teapot away. No, teapot's all good, we're okay, no panic. So this here, this is Coalport, it's fine bone china. It won't be to everyone's taste because it is quite dated, the pattern is quite dated, but as I've said before, I'm in a Georgian house, so my house dates back to 1765, so you can mix it up, you can go all through the eras, you can do vintage, Victorian, obviously anything Georgian. This of course isn't, will be probably 1980s, but with that old Georgian kind of styling. But for me, these are lovely because whenever I'm taking my jewellery off, I'm constantly just dropping it all over the house. So that's what I shall use this for. It'll go on a little table, and it will be for me to drop my jewellery in as I go around and then panic when I can't find it. So yeah, that was £1. I didn't even try and offer them any less because it's lovely. This is one of my favourite purchases of the day. I said last week, you do normally, or I come home and I think, oh gosh, that was my favourite thing. In all honesty, I'm torn today. I've got two favourite things. This is one of them. She was 20 pence, late 1930s, really beautiful condition, cute little chubby cheeks, really typical of that era. If you look at some of my other posts, you'll see I I like that, you know, that decade in terms of its styling and its colours, and I love that the children, whether they're featured in books or on pottery, as was quite popular then, or figurines, they're always, you know, very chubby cheeked, rosy complexion, looking how children should look. So yeah, so absolutely love her. Little bluebird as well, she's lovely. And then keeping with the theme of birds, some of you are going to hate these. My grandma used to have them on her fireplace. Maybe not these particular pair, but you never know. So the lady was asking £1 each for these. I said, please would you take £1 for the two? And she said, yes, no hesitation. There are a few knocks, so around the petals there, there's the ends have kind of been knocked and chipped off, but it's fine bone china, so that is quite the norm. But yeah, some people think they're hideous, I know that, but I love them, and obviously it evokes memories of my grandma's house, so I quite like my two little birds. I got this. Now you'll be a lover or a hater. Ta-da! Marmite. It says on the back, Wild and Wolf. They do various different collector advertising themed items. So yeah, so this is a Marmite plate. This was £2. There was no budging on the price. I've looked online. They go at around about 20 quid on eBay. So yeah, so that was £2 well spent. So yeah, Marmite, love it or hate it. I got yet another frame. There's no hook on it, there was no picture in it, and it was it 50 pence or a pound? How much was it? I think I paid £1 for this. I was saying last week with the little fox hunt picture that I got in the gilt frame, these frames just look lovely. If you've got a wall, you can do a feature wall, just like how you can do a feature wall of lovely old Art Deco mirrors. I always think looks good. And likewise, you can do the same with these frames. I haven't done a feature wall with these frames. It's another one of my ideas in my head, and I've seen similar on Pinterest. If I get around to doing it, I will show you. That's another one to go in a friendly collection of frames. Right, spoons next. I've got, again, there's a load of them on the shelf over there. I'll get them and show you my spoon collection if you're interested. But whenever I see old spoons, I have to buy them. Well, as long as they're no more than 50 pence. If they're anything more than that, I mean, I wouldn't pay like 15 or 20 quid for a spoon. Some people will pay hundreds, obviously, if it's hallmarked, if it's silver, if it's something special, if it's particularly old. These ones, the lady had got a box just full of cutlery. I mean, these were the smallest things in there. There were some beautiful knives, forks, serving spoons, but it is these little spoons that I like. Everything in the box was 50 pence each. I was very tempted to say, how much do you want for the box, and just to take the lot. But again, really don't need any more, and sometimes you do have to rein yourself in, because you just end up like me, where your house is just so full of everything. And it's like an addiction, you just keep going and buying more because it's so cheap and it's so lovely and it's so unique, and you know you're not going to see it in the shops, and you know that if you walk away there's no going back to it. So getting back to the spoons, what I liked about these ones, I don't know if you can see there, maybe not from that distance, but these are monogrammed. The initials are HEW, so I wonder who HEW was. They're not silver. If you look on the back, you do get maker's marks, you'll get assay marks if it's silver. Where I live, Birmingham was great for silver, so there is probably perhaps a bit more in this area. We're not a million miles away from Birmingham. Likewise, Sheffield, if you're that way, again, very, very big, you know, easier to find there. These are silver plated. No, they're not. They're EPNS. Sorry, I'm just looking at the stamp now. So yeah, so they're not solid silver, which would be wonderful if they were, but they are still lovely. And I found one, and then I just kept mooching and mooching and mooching. There's about 100 different bits of cutlery in there, and there were 4 of them in the end. So I managed to get the set of 4. So at 50 pence each, that should have been £2. But I said to the lady, "Will you take any less for those?" And she said £1.50, and I said, "Okay, would you throw this one in as well, please?" Because I quite liked this one. I mean, somebody's had a bit of a Eurogala moment with it. Can you see it's a bit wonky donkey? But yeah, again, it's just lovely and it's cute. And again, it's EPNS, it's not solid silver, but they're just lovely. So yeah, that will go with my other 100 spoons. Where do we go next? Right, I'm going to talk to you about tins for a moment. So I've got one of these already, and I bought this one today for 50 pence, identical to the other one that I've got up on top of the cupboard up there. So this is a fairly modern tin. I think is it Churchill's? Yeah, it is, it's Churchill's. So you'll get these, who do they supply? I think they do English heritage gift shops, places like that. So they do tend to be these lovely classic themed tins. Like I say, these are only a few years old. But if you're looking for a future collectible, these are worth now, going by eBay prices, these are worth about 15 quid a pop. Obviously they're very pretty, they're very classic, it's a timeless design, it's not going to age or look out of date in 10 or 20 or 50 years time. The colours are beautiful, and it's not a flat surface, which is always nice as well. You can run your fingers over it, and it is raised, quite a lot of detail. So if you are just looking at getting into vintage or antiques, or want to learn a bit more, or want to start your own collection, or just want something that looks pretty in the kitchen, then yeah, these are great. And of course you can just shove loads of stuff in them as well, like your spoons that you collect and you've got nowhere to put. So yeah, so 50 pence. I might give that one away actually. I might raffle it off to any of you who are interested in it later, because I have got another one up there. But yeah, just I think they're really, really cute. OXO tins, obviously they're the classic. At the moment, Queen Elizabeth tins, coronation tins, again, they're really popular, and they're fetching sort of £10 or £12 a tin, whereas normally you'd probably get, if you were selling them on, you get a fiver for it. Obvious reasons, we're coming up to the Jubilee. But tins are always a pretty safe bet, and I would say, they're not going to make you a millionaire. They're not going to make you a millionaire, but there are, I'll find some examples for you, but there are some tins, old toffee tins, biscuit tins, and when I say old, we're talking within the last 100 years, which will be rare, which will be sought after, which weren't in production for long. Sometimes some of the European ones are quite popular as well. And certain tins will fetch £1,200 to £1,500, which, I think price-wise, I always think I'm pretty spot on with my prices. And then sometimes I'll watch something go to auction and I'll be like, oh my goodness me, who's gone up and over £1,000 for a tin? Who's gone up and over 100 quid? But people do, but it's what you love. And of course, as a rule, as long as you keep it dry, don't, the modern ones you're okay with, but older tins, sometimes when you get them, they're quite grubby. I know this because I once made the mistake of leaving a beautiful old enamelled Victorian tin, biscuit tin, and it was so filthy and so grotty. Obviously I wouldn't put it in the dishwasher, but I just thought I'm just going to leave it with some fairy liquid to soak overnight because it was that grim. And I got up the next day and it had literally just, kind of washed away, faded the colours, it just looked dull and it had lost all that loveliness, so I wish I'd have left it grimy as it was. So yeah, but obviously with the modern ones you can give those a good wash, they're fine. But yeah, so we'll do a little giveaway with that later if anybody wants a Churchill's tin. This very modern, not vintage, but very lovely. It's a Next cushion. It's a fairly recent one. The lady stuck a little price label on it there. Can you see? £2. So, I mean, really, £1 is about right for a scatter cushion. So, of course, politely said, please will you take £1? Yes, no problem, no haggling, that was fine. Plus, by then it was about 9 o'clock and just starting to rain, so you could see everybody wanted to just pack up and go home. So, yeah, that's just going on the spare bed. This is quite cute. I bought this early on. This is one of the first couple of stalls. So, just a dog and a child. It looks like bronze. It isn't. It's cast bronze, and the difference being that it's not solid bronze. Just like you'll get, if somebody says cast stone to you or cast stone, depending on how they say it, then generally speaking, it's reconstituted concrete, sometimes with a bit of stone mixed in. Likewise with this. If any of you are old enough to remember plaster casts, I went mad on them. I probably would have been about 7 or 8, so that would have been like 1982, 1983. And you could get Beatrix Potter ones and Rupert Bear ones. And they were literally like just a rubber mould, and then you'd make a mess of your mum's kitchen, mixing up this plaster. You'd dip it in, you'd try and squeeze it all the way to the ends, so that, if you were doing Jemima Puddle Duck, you didn't want to miss her beak. You'd leave it to stand upside down for a couple of hours, and then you'd take great pleasure in getting fairy liquid on the mould, peeling it off, and then you'd paint these moulds. I used to spend hours doing them. I used to absolutely love them. Well, if you can think of a fancier version of that, yes, bronze is absolutely beautiful, but very, very expensive. But cursed bronze, I think, you can tell the difference when you feel it. Don't ask me what the difference is, but just, if you're used to holding them and handling them, you can just tell kind of the difference in the weight and the feel to it. So this is cast bronze rather than a full set bronze, which would be lovely and worth a hell of a lot more. But that was £1, and it's in really, really lovely condition. So yeah, like that one. I've gone a little bit picture mad today. I did say last week I love my pictures and my prints and my artworks. So I've bought, yet again, more than I possibly know what to do with, so I'm going to have to find little places and start rejigging things around the house. This one, I just need to give it a good clean. So it's a limited edition print. It's from a range. On the back it says Portraits of Britain. I'm guessing, looking at the label on the back, not that it gives away too much, but I would think that this is probably late 80s into the 90s that this set was produced. It's of Much Wenlock, which is quite close to where I live. It's a lovely little town. Quite a few of you, I dare say, will know it or have heard of it. It's signed. I've got no idea who it's signed by, and it doesn't say on the back. And obviously it's not an original, but it is a limited print. So they have a little bit of value to them. It was 50p. It is certainly worth more than 50p. But yeah, I shall find a place to put this up on the wall. I also got one of Bridgnorth, which also is a town not too far away from here. Whether I can find it to show you. Here we go. This is also 50 pence, and it's from the same lady that was selling the Much Wenlock one. Can't speak. The glass is missing, so I need to get a piece of glass cut for it. I need to give it a bit of a clean with a magic sponge. If you don't know what a magic sponge is, Google, they're absolute lifesavers, but just be careful if you get a mark on the wall. If you use your magic sponge on the wall to remove a mark, it will remove the mark and it will remove your paint as well. But if you've got something like this where it's a bit grubby, get a magic sponge. They're only about £1. You can get them in Wilkinson's, Home Bargains, my favourite shop. And just damp it down and just rub over marks really gently, because this is obviously paper. You don't want to be wetting the paper and taking the print off, but it should remove marks like this. So yeah, this is the Town Hall in Bridgnorth and Tanner's Wine Merchant. I've been a regular customer of those over the years. So 50 pence, again, a nice, pretty local picture. I'll show you my mirror. Oh, this is lovely. And the lady was really, really reluctant to sell it, and she was even more reluctant to bring the price down on it a little bit, which does sometimes make you wonder why people take things along. However, yes, it's really grubby, so it needs a bloody good clean, and it needs some wood polish on it. This will have a really lovely patina. It just needs a bit of the grime getting off it. I'm holding that. You're probably going to steal my washing up in the background, aren't you? £2. There's a sticker, and originally it would have been attached to something. I was thinking maybe on a dressing table, but I don't know if it's too small, perhaps on a cupboard door, I don't know. But yeah, so it's got that in place now. So obviously she wasn't going to budge to £1, and I got her down to £1.50, and that felt like a real win. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I mean, £2 really, I should have just paid that, that would have been fair enough. But I did have a few other things off her, and that was the only thing that I bartered on, so there we go. Little jug. I don't need any more jugs. I don't need any more china. I have got a cellar absolutely full of these. I do, most of the time I drink out of mugs. I was showing you some of them that I bought last week. But every now and then, like it was my neighbour's, was it their silver or golden? It was 50-year wedding anniversary, so I did a little afternoon tea for them. So occasions like that where you can get out all of your your cake stands and your jugs and your nice cups and saucers for things like that, or if you're having a little girly day in the garden before you start on the Prosecco, when you're going to kid yourselves on that you're just going to sit and sip tea, then again, get your nice china out, and they're like 50 pence a time, so it doesn't matter if they get broken. This one's Coldclough, and their china isn't very expensive at all, but I quite like it. You get a lot of mid-century designs from them. So at the moment the colours are really back in, so ochres and greys and some nice muted greens. So yeah, that's let me show you their stamp. Can you see there? I mean, this isn't hugely old at all, but yeah, I thought that was a really nice one for 50 pence. Pictures, keeping with the picture theme. I love this. It's very country house, and I have got a house in the country. But yeah, I think my bathroom isn't particularly old or traditional. It needs redoing, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I can't redo the bathroom just to justify having somewhere to hang the picture. That wouldn't work. But yeah, so this picture, the man had got loads of pictures, and they were £5 each. And I think I had this one, and was it the next one I'm going to show you? Yeah, they were £5 each, and I said, please can I have two for a £5, because I picked out two that I liked. It was raining, it was only 9 o'clock, everybody wanted to go home, so of course at that point he was like, yeah, no problem at all. It is bashed around the frame, but it's a really nice quality frame, and that doesn't bother me. I mentioned it last week, I've got a gilt rub. It's a little tube, and it comes out, it's not quite like glue, it's like a paste, and it's gilt, and I don't know what the name of it is, and I've had it for about 10 years, so whether you'd even be able to get it now or not, I don't know, but I will look it up, because it's brilliant if you've got picture frames, or even if you've got furniture that you want to give it, like, a little bit of an edge to it, instead of sanding it down to try and show the wood. The other way of making furniture that you've perhaps painted look nice, if you've, for example, painted a chest of drawers, a dark grey or a black, just get a little bit of this gilt rub and just very slightly rub it along the edges, put it on the edges of handles, and it just gives it quite a classy look. So when I find my 10-year-old tube of gilt rub, which isn't its actual name, I'll try and find it out for next week and I can show you, and if you can still get it, definitely get some if you like me, like buying these old things with knocks and what have you on, because actually I do love knocks, and I like that nothing in this house particularly matches, but you can make something like this look better where the knocks are on the wood if you just get this gilt rub, which is so much easier to use than paint, and just touch it up. And yeah, this has got 3 really ugly fish on it, but would be perfect if I had the kind of bathroom that I want. So maybe I'll keep it until I get the bathroom that I want. So yeah, so that's the one picture. And then the other picture that I got from him, and my 2 for £5. This is my other favourite purchase of the day. So she's the one. And then this is the other, and I just love it. And obviously it isn't an antique. Oh, it's an old image. It's a reproduction. I'm looking at the label on the back. It's come from St Julian's in Shrewsbury. Whoever bought this will have paid a fair old price for it to begin with, and it's got a little bit of vintage to it, like a nice bottle of wine. It's probably only about 15 or 20 years old. But I just love that image, and I love the fact that I always tend to end up having this sort of dark furniture, and again you can get away with it in this house, it doesn't look too austere, but it's, oh, thick neck, nearly swore then. But yeah, this frame is just that little bit lighter and a little bit more modern. So this is going to go in the dining hall because it's got a huge doorway, but it's always quite a dark room, so I want to try and lift it a bit. So I've taken all my dark furniture out of there, I've got a shot of that, and I'm going a little bit lighter just to lift the room a little bit. So that is my other favourite purchase of the day. I thought for £2.50 that was fantastic. So very pleased. I'm going to show you 2 sketches that I've bought now. I think I've overpaid for them. I haven't overpaid in the scheme of things, but I've overpaid in terms of if you're thinking car boot. These are £5 each. I hear you gasp. Yes, I gasped as well. So there's 2 of them. It says on the back, if it can be believed, from the drawing book of Caroline Louisa Foster, circa 1834 to 1835. Sometimes people get reproduction, framed prints. They rip off, as has happened here, a label, and they stick something on there which they handwrite to make it look a bit more authentic. It's quite a common thing that people shouldn't do, but do at antique fairs to, give something a little bit of history and provenance. However, on closer inspection, having got them home, they do actually appear to be original sketches from somebody's sketchbook. You can see little doodlings in the background, and you can see dates, and it doesn't, to me, look like a reproduction print, and it's got the right amount of yellowing as well on the paper. Luckily I didn't pay £5 each, because that would still be niggling me now if I had. I wanted to pay £5 for the 2, and I agreed to pay 7. So I can't really complain, can I? £3.50 each. But again, it's just you've got to go to the car boot in car boot mindset, and remember that monetary value at the car boot is completely different to monetary value in the shops. I mean, obviously you wouldn't get a nice frame in the shops for £7, but if you go along thinking, oh, if something's £1, say, please would you take 50 pence? Worst case, I say no, it doesn't matter as long as you're nice and polite about it. But I can guarantee you, half of the people that you say, if they say it's £2, please will you take £1? Whatever the price is that they say, politely halve it. Because at the end of the day, if you go there with £100 and you buy 100 things for £1 each, well, that's wonderful. But if you buy 100 things for 50 pence each, you've saved yourself £50. And most, I say most, over half of people, I would estimate, that you say, oh, please would you take whatever it is you offer, will just say yes. Because a lot of people that go to car boots to sell either A, just want to have a clear out and get rid of everything, they don't want to take anything home, or they'll be dropping it off at the charity shop on the way back, so 50 pence in their pocket is better than giving it away. Or they know to double the price in the first place, because they know that's what people do, they barter, people like me. So that was that. I think that was my most expensive purchase. It must be, because I don't normally spend £7 on 1 or 2 items. But yeah, like I say, they're 180 years old, if the label on the back's to be believed. But like I say, looking up close, the dates, Oh, she says breaking them. Hang on. Oh, got on again. I need to get better at this. I did the same thing last week. I started dropping everything. They're okay. They're not, they're not wrecked, I promise. Little pig, £1. Again, he was £2. I offered £1, and I think £1's about right. I don't think I'd want to pay £2 for him. I might paint him. Yeah, again, I'm trying to get away from the dark wood thing, and it's not as if he's particularly old. He's probably from the 90s. So yeah, so he may well get painted, but he was nice for £1. He's got quite a nice weight to him. Pop him there. This was a good buy. Another £1 well spent. Wall sconce, not an original. I mean, you can get these in TK Maxx and Home Sense for about 20 quid. Sadly, there wasn't 2 of them, which would have been nice. Haven't got a clue where I'm going to put it. I've got loads of original features in this house, which is wonderful, but obviously I have to be careful not to add in things that make it look like they're trying to be original when they're not. So I might maybe find a little place in the downstairs loo, perhaps underneath a picture, or maybe fit it to the wall and just have some hand lotion or a pumpy soap or what have you on top of it. Not entirely sure, but for £1 I thought that was good. I've got another 50p picture here. I did say I'd gone picture mad. This has got absolutely no relevance to me whatsoever. It's Manchester, and it says Manchester in 1728. I've got no connection at all to Manchester. If it was Liverpool, I could give it to one of my daughters who are in Liverpool, but no, Manchester. But yeah, 50p, quite cute. It's an old print that's inside, and then a frame. I'm guessing it's been in the frame probably 15, 20 years. You may well have seen this on my stories earlier. This has got to be my best buy of the day. And actually, do you know something? The thing I'm going to show you in a moment, I love even more than my little girl and even more than my horsey picture. I love, love, love this. So these 3 original oil paintings. I mean, I didn't even barter, that's how good they were. I said to the lady, how much are you paintings? And she was like, oh, 50p each. Cha-ching. I was like, yes please, I'll have the 3. So I'm guessing it's the same artist, it's certainly the same kinds of style. So that's the first and the smallest, which is quite sweet. I was in Wales yesterday. Well, I've been there. I had a day and a half's break away from everything and drove back, and that's quite similar to the view from Snowdon, although equally I guess it could be Scotland or the lakes. This one again looks very similar to the coastal path that I was walking yesterday. But again, could be Devon, could be Cornwall, could be all sorts of places across the UK, but beautifully done. I really like the detail in that. But I'm running out of hands. I'm going to put that there before I end up wrecking it. I'll put this one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, scrap what I said about the other 2 things. This is my best buy of the day. It's my absolute favourite. I've had it up on the wall in the kitchen, then I had it up on the wall in the lounge. Haven't quite found a spot for it yet. Don't think I'm going to put it back in a frame. I've got loads of frames, but I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. But I've just been looking at that. I've got it the right way around to show you. Yeah. God, I just think you can lose yourself in that, and the colours are just absolutely beautiful. It's not signed, so that would suggest it's an amateur. But my gosh, I wish I could paint like that. I absolutely love, love, love it. When I find somewhere to hang it, I'll show you how it looks in situ. So we'll pop that on there. Have I done everything? Oh yeah, I'll do a quick run through of clothes. Didn't get loads of clothes. There weren't loads of clothes sellers there today, which is probably just as well, because otherwise I'd lose an afternoon next week trying them on and taking pictures like I'm a teenager trying on clothes again to show you. So I'll show you the clothes in a minute because there's not a huge amount. One more thing, if I can pick it up and get it in shot. Bloody massive. What do you think of this? I don't need it. I've got nowhere to put it. I've had one similar in the past and got rid of it. Again, if I had that nice old-fashioned themed big copper bath and, you know, nice pedestal sink, I don't have either of those, but if I did, in a house like this, that would look lovely with towels over it. In truth, I don't know where I'm going to put it. The lady wanted £2, and knowing that I don't really need it, don't know where it's going to go, I said, will you take £1? And she said, yeah, okay, I will do. Which was good actually, because I've got so much stuff on the back seat of the car before I'd even gone to the car boot that was left in there from travelling back from Wales yesterday, that I wasn't entirely certain that I was even going to be able to fit it in the car, and therefore it may well have been just left for somebody else to take. So yeah, it could do really with a bit of a perhaps spray or paint as a few marks on it. But for £1, I mean, gosh, couldn't resist. Oh, blimey, heavier than it looks as well. Okay, so that is, unless I'm missing or forgotten anything, I think I've shown you all of my housey and vintagey bits. So a couple of nice things in there, please. I'll whiz through the clothes very, very quickly. This is very autumn, although it was like autumn this morning. It's been a really grey day. It's brightened up a bit here now. Laura Ashley dress, again, you just can't get Laura Ashley anymore. So, and it's a nice, it's like a velvet textured dress. And it's just a classic. It's a bit like a William Morris print. It isn't William Morris print, but it's that kind of, a bit like a Strawberry Thief in blue. Goes down just past the knee, 3/4 sleeves. And I thought in autumn, with a nice pair of thick black tights, just perfect, isn't it? You can have your vest and pants on underneath, and then just throw your dress and your tights on and you're set for the day. Is it 50 pence or was it pounds? It was 50 pence. It was from the 50 pence lady. I'll show you the things I have from her in a moment. I got this. Needs to go have a bit of a wash. It's not dirty, but just obviously been in someone's cupboard. It's a Barbour. My girls used to love their Barbers. They cost a blooming arm and a leg. I'm pretty certain it's an original one. I've looked at mine and the label is the same. Obviously it's not going to fit me, it's a child, it's age 8 to 9, but this is, my friend had said to me, can you look out for a nice jacket for my boy? So I said, yeah, I'll keep my eye out. This one was £3. The lady she got a sign up, everything was £5, and then obviously the rain started to come, so she marked everything down to £3. So I wasn't going to offer any less than £3 for a Barbour jacket, given that I'm pretty certain it's an original one as well. So hopefully that will fit my friend's little boy, so I'm sure they'll be quite pleased with that. I got 2 skirts, they were £1 each, and I said, will you take £1.50 for the 2? And the reply was yes. So this one's from Apricot, just classic summer. Again, I always say hide a multitude of sins type skirt. So this cami top or t-shirt like I'm wearing today. Lovely, and you don't have to iron them, which is even more of a bonus. So there was that one, there was 2 that I bought together. This one has still got the price label on it. So it's size 10, Dorothy Perkins, full price, £25. And the lady I bought it from has obviously done what all of us ladies do, which is buy something, put it in the wardrobe. Perhaps she thought she'd slim down into it. Not that I'm saying she was big, she wasn't, not at all. But this skirt that she had worn was a 14. So perhaps she's done that thing that I do, where you look and you think, oh, I'll fit into that by the summer, and then you don't. So yeah, this is very, very similar, but just with a nice band to tie around it, and this one's layered. So again, quite nice for the summer. I bought this, which again you might have seen on my stories. It was hanging on the front of the rail and people were ignoring it, which I couldn't understand because I thought it was lovely. It was £1.50 and it's got loads of detail, and I can just see me in the summer in the garden with the sun out wearing that, or on holiday thrown over a bikini. You know, you want to pop to the bar and get a drink, you need to cover up a bit. So I thought that was beautiful, and I like that colour grey, although I'm trying to stop wearing grey. I wear grey all the time. This one, so £1.50 for that, £1.50 for this as well from the same lady. Also Laura Ashley, you can see a bit of a Laura Ashley theme going on today. Now, the label says that this is a size 18, but never in a million years is that an 18. The lady that I bought it from, she said I'm a 14 and it fits me perfectly, and I would say that that's about right. So perhaps it's been shrunk in the wash, but the detail in it is beautiful. And you know, she must, I don't know what it is, but oh my God, it smells of the most gorgeous perfume as well. I wish I knew what that was, I'd be buying that too. So yeah, it's a nice little cardigan there, lovely quality. Oh gosh, I nearly missed these bits. These are another couple of vintage bits on my story. They were £1 each. Not so keen on the diamante one, but I thought this one was beautiful. I very rarely wear a brooch, I've got no ends of them. I used to have a little monsoon like shrug thing, like winter shrug. It would be the perfect thing to wear if you go to the theatre, which I only ever do once in a blue moon. And on the odd occasion that I would do that and wear this shrug, I would always pop a brooch on it and it would look lovely. But other than that, I don't tend to wear them, but I do buy a lot of them because I just think they're beautiful and you get them so cheap and so much detail. So that's the one that I wanted, but he was adamant he wanted to sell the 2 together. And you know, to be fair, that might look quite nice, perhaps on a black jacket. I probably won't wear it, I'll probably go with my collection of others. But yeah, so £1 each for those two. Forgot about those. Oh, and there's a little necklace in here as well. Although this does tend to fall into the clothing category a bit more. I keep seeing these. I think these are coming back in again. I can remember in the 90s having a little silver ring with this like blue stone in. I don't think mine was stone. I think it was probably coloured plastic. But yeah, this was 50 pence. I thought that was lovely for the summer. So I like it when I see ladies wearing necklaces or layered necklaces. I always think, oh, that's lovely, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to try and make a conscious effort. Just add a bit of femininity. So yeah, bracelets and earrings and necklaces are a really easy way to do that. But obviously if I can pay 50 pence as opposed to, you know, 12 or 15 quid, then better still. Toiletries, I said to you last week, I always get my toiletries at the car boot, and today was no exception. I mean, nothing that's too exciting here. A big can of deodorant and Avon Skin So Soft body oil. I'm a bit disappointed that it's body oil. When I bought it, I thought it was serum, and as you can see, my hair is just a big frizz pot all the time, so I like the serums, but I've got it wrong, it's body oil, but hey ho, it will get used. And then this one, excuse me, heat protection spray, again with my big frizzy hair, I do have to use the straighteners on it quite a lot. So these are quite good for helping, you know, try and stop wrecking your hair as I do. So they were 50 pence each, or 3 for £1. So that's today's 3 toiletries for £1. Brilliant. And then these two things, I think it's the last, yeah, these are the last two things to show you. It was the only two things that the lady had makeup wise. One is the Volume Million Lashes, and that is it L'Oreal? Yeah, L'Oreal, and that's in black. I only ever wear black mascara anyway, so that was great. So that, brand new, still got the seal in place. I'm guessing L'Oreal, I don't tend to buy that mascara, but it's going to be what, 8-9 quid at a guess. And then also L'Oreal, also sealed, not used, and you can't go wrong, can you? Haute Rouge. So I didn't do that in a very good French accent, did I? Haute Rouge. There we go. Do you know, I used to study French, believe it or not. I only speak French now when I'm drunk. So yeah, beautiful red lipstick. I love a red lipstick. So when I've got lipstick on, when I bother. So yeah, that was 50 pence. And the mascara is 50 pence. So again, another £1 well spent. So thank you for having a look at today's haul. I'm hoping that next week, is it bank holiday weekend? Yeah, oh my gosh, bank holiday weekend. So there'll be days and days and days of car boots going on. And if the weather is good, then they should be pretty amazing. So I'm hoping that next week, I will be showing you some really fabulous stuff. I feel like today I've really enjoyed it. It's been really great. I've got some lovely little bits. I haven't totted up yet how much I've spent. But again, I mean, what is today? I don't think I've bought as much as last week. So I'm guessing maybe about 30 quid today. I'll tot it up a little bit later. But I mean, I've enjoyed it. I've loved it. I wish I hadn't sat eating cheesecake in the car, because obviously those vital few moments meant I missed out on this gorgeous, gorgeous sledge. But hey ho, such is life. It'll teach me a lesson for next week, which is either go to bed earlier, don't go out, too old to be staying out until 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so hopefully next week I'll be bringing you lots of even lovelier stuff to show you. But thank you for having a little look. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you. And yeah, I'll do a little win me. If anybody wants to win me this tin, it's not like winning a car, is it? But well, no. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.